How's it going, everyone? A year in the van. We've been a year in this van. It was the 27th of January 2025 that it all started. Well, when I say all started, when I actually moved in full time into a van. And so I thought I'd do a quick run over some of the things I've learnt in the first year. And I have my trusty phone here. And, as always, a very trusty coffee. It's not the best one I've made, but it's pretty good. So yeah, so what I've learnt, so in a year of living in the van, I've had no knocks on the door, on the side of the van, nothing. Like I say from a video a while back, there was a 3 point something earthquake that shook the van a little bit, but that's not someone knocking, so much rather have a very small earthquake. So yeah, so what I've learnt so far is no one really knocks. Well, no one's knocked at all so far. When I was in my little grey van, when I was just testing out van life, just sleeping on the street just to see what it felt like, someone on one of the videos did try and get in a couple of times, but that was only once, and that was in the other van, so the red van must be lucky, touch wood. So yeah, the second thing that I've really learnt is the toilet in the van is way better than the public toilets. Way better. The public toilets are just a shambles. Usually there's stuff all over the floor and all over the seat. The one in the van is always tidy and clean, so I use that one a lot more. In fact, I don't use public toilets anymore at all. That's how much better this one is. And I'm still at a young enough age to get down into that position. So yeah, so it's good. You just kind of put the bag inside it, put the lid over the top of that bag, do your thing, and then tie up the bag and get rid of the bag. So much better way to go. Totally recommend those. I wouldn't use, I mean, it's a chemical one, but I would never put the chemicals in because that would be horrible. That would be really horrible. I don't think I could live with that. So yeah, so definitely number two. The irony of the toilet being number two. So the third thing is showers. So in the year I've used gym showers pretty much every day, but what I have discovered that I never thought I would do is that I can do a basin or a sink wipe down, if you like. So sometimes I don't go to the gym sometimes I don't go to Freudian slip, go and have a shower every day. Most weeks I will shower 5 times now and just do a wipe down for 2 of those days because sometimes you just don't feel like it, and so I'm getting lazy, but always clean. So food storage, I have a fridge with a little battery that will, on a good day, run it for 4 to 6 hours probably, and I barely use that. I use that when I go to campgrounds. I just plug it in and use it then. So most of the time food storage is under the bed and it's in a little basket, if you like, and it's lined, so it keeps everything inside that pretty cool. And I also keep probably 6 litres of water under the bed and I think 1.5 litre bottles. Don't know the math, probably works out, probably doesn't. And so I keep that under there just in case. So it's basically oats, powdered potato, rice, tinned stuff, and things like that. Any sort of dried meat as well gets stashed in there. That pretty much all year long is pretty good because it does stay fairly cool under there, so I'm quite lucky with that. But water in summer, apart from the stash under the bed for just in case, I get fresh water every day from work, and I don't know if it's in here, I can't see them. I also have 2 stainless steel, I think they're about 3 litre containers that I fill those up with in summer as well when it's a little bit warmer. So yeah, that's what the story is with water. I did have a big, I think it was a 20 or 30 litre water container when I was in Rotorua, and that was all fine and in the cool weather. As soon as it started getting warm, that water in there would just turn pretty much overnight, and you would start to see a yellow, sort of a really light tan yellow film starting on the edge of the container on the inside. And it's very unappealing cleaning that sort of thing with bleach to me and then refilling it with drinking water, so I just scrapped that, went with the stainless and just refilled every day. So that's what I did there. Yeah, but each to their own. Like I've seen one of my favourite people to watch, Static Camper Van. He's got a brilliant water filtration system and a water pump and everything, so he can do it. He's good at it. I'm terrible at it, so it's just the way it is. So I'm doing what works for me. And the next thing is winter. So this winter might have been the coldest I've had. It definitely got easily down to 0. I can't remember. I think 1 or 2 times it got down to sort of -2. So yeah, with that, I didn't use any heater. I did try and use one of the heaters that I had, but basically all that happened was everything got moisture, and so the cold, excuse the pun, the cold hard facts of it, if you can, if it's just a cold winter night with no rain, is to actually leave the roof vent open, extra blankets, and just stay warm. The other thing I did, it's probably hard to show you, that jacket back there, and I got another jacket. I would hang those where my head was, and so I had those. They would be like there, and that would stop cold air coming, or the cold from the van coming straight into my face. So that helped a lot too. The one thing I did learn that's probably important if you're going out in the cold and starting this with no heater, don't wear socks. I was wearing merino socks to try and stay warm. So basically in winter what I was wearing, I had my beanie on, I had 2 merino tops, as in the base layers, long merino base layer pants, and the merino socks on. And I ended up getting an athlete's foot because it was just so hot and moist down there with the socks. It just went wrong. So what I ended up doing, I think it's just here, and I think I showed you guys this ages ago, is my trusty little hot water bottle. So basically that was a bit of a bugger to do, because that's when the roof vent was handy, because you did have to boil up some water to throw in there. So it's kind of adding moisture to the van, but it did pay off. So I would fill that half up with the roof vent going to pull all the moisture out, fill it up, throw it right where my feet are, and then when it was time for bed, just jump in there, and it was really, really good. So fully recommend. Hot water bottles are just awesome. Don't recommend socks. And the other thing is the roof vent itself. So super essential, I think, in a van, regardless of size. I think it's really important. I don't know how I would have made it through some of the summers, and winter not so much. That's good for getting rid of moisture, but in summer it's just gold having that there. So I would definitely, if you can afford it, get a roof vent put in. If not, try and crank the windows and do it that way, but do what you can with it, but I'm totally recommending roof vents if you can do it. So yeah, so that's the bit of a year recap. I've certainly enjoyed this. This has probably been the most fun thing I've ever done. Initially a few frustrating things with the heat, which you get used to, and the challenges along the way, which are only minor challenges, are a lot of fun when you work out how to get around them. It's really enjoyable. So for anyone out there that's actually thinking about it, I reckon just go for it, give it a try. If you get 3 months down the track and you think it's not for you anymore, that's cool. I don't see that as a failure. I see that as trying something and having a go at something, and that's definitely not failure. For other people that try it and think, you know what, I just want to do this on the weekends and live in a standard house during the week, I think that's still considered van life as well. So yeah, I think you got to do what feels good to you. I love this lifestyle. If you ever watch van life channels, I'm going to say what everyone else has said, and that's that I should have done it earlier, and I should have, but I think everything happens in its own good time. So I think when I actually started doing it was the right time for me. Yeah, so I think you should all give it a go. And again, thanks everyone for watching. Loving it. Love having you guys and girls watch. And yeah, we'll see you next time.